The Niners have to get Brandon Aiyuk involved somehow because the last 6 quarters of offense haven't been enough. So we agree it's not going to be on the deep outs and the deep comebacks. I mean, they don't have the quarterback for that, even though he can run those routes. So what would you do to get Brandon Aiyuk the ball?
Ton of screens.
Sorry.
No. Ton of screens. I mean, I think it's almost like a basketball player who's struggling. You keep shooting, and then when you see the ball go in, like you hit a layup or you hit a free throw, you see the ball go through the hoop. Okay, your confidence gets raised. I think that if you get Brandon Aiyuk right there, like how he had the touchdown against the Eagles in 2020 where he jumped over the guy, that was a tunnel screen. Like why can't we get those going the same way that you do that with Debo? But I think it's because Debo's played so well that those go to him. But if you want to get Aiyuk involved, this opens up so much more for Debo, for Kittle, if Aiyuk is a part of the game plan, because it almost seems like defenses are not letting him do whatever he wants, but they're not worried that the ball is going to go to him. Now, where he is in the progression, I don't know that. On certain plays, I can't speculate to that. I don't know if he's the first read, and a lot of people shouldn't be speculating on that because unless you have the install, you probably don't know. So I think that if you just get him the ball, let him get his hands on the ball, show that you're going to involve him so he doesn't lose interest or anything like that. Not that I'm saying that he loses interest, but it's almost like, hey, I'll run my route as hard as I can. I just know the ball's not coming to me. That sort of thing. Kind of take that away. So yeah, I
have a deep route on this play. Okay.
Cool. Definitely not coming to me, right?
If I'm clearing out, huh? All right. See you guys in 35 seconds. Great.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what I mean. You don't want him to start thinking about stuff like that. You just want him to go out there and play and just get him the ball, man. It's just tunnel screens, quick touch passes, anything like that. Once you start to get him going and get him involved, then it unlocks so much more. And I think that he'll bounce back. They better start doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is all of a sudden magically going to become a good downfield thrower like Matt Ryan or Tom Brady. It's not going to be part of his thing. So you got to find way more ways to get the playmakers, the balls in their hands so they can get yards after the catch. And screens are great. That's a great place. I could do more. How about, Kyle, this is revolutionary. Think about it. A shallow cross. What do you think? A shallow cross. I think that way it allows Aiyuk to use his speed. I mean, it allows Jimmy Garoppolo to throw a 5-yard pass. Everyone's happy. I think he could run a terrific shallow cross, and that's a big play waiting to happen. Why not him?
Right, and I think Aiyuk bounces back this week, too, against this secondary because besides Jair Alexander, it gets scary over there. Like, Kevin King's not good, and if they can move Aiyuk around, and like I said, just get his confidence up. Jair Alexander is a lockdown corner, though, so whoever he's going to be on, you almost want to say that they're going to get wiped out. But if Aiyuk gets his shot against Kevin King, and you said it, the cross is right up Jimmy Garoppolo's alley. But again, just get him involved, let him get his hands on the ball, and I think that'll help. It'll start to take care of itself. I think this is the week that we see him bounce back.
For whatever reason, whenever they try to do the dig with Aiyuk, it's off. And whenever he throws it to Debo, it's perfect. Now, Debo, it seems like every single time is running it left to right, whereas Ayuk's running it right to left. And the time against the Chargers, it was high. The time, maybe Jimmy just can't throw that ball, or I don't know. Because what is Aiyuk doing wrong?
Well, how much of what's going on with Aiyuk about the chemistry with Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiyuk?
That's
how much of that
saying.
Is it?
That's
yeah,
what I'm
like
saying.
So how much of it is like, guys who run routes the way that they like that, right? And you guys have to work on that. That's what him and Debo have lock and step right now at this point. True. But maybe there's just a little something that's a little bit off that Jimmy doesn't have the trust. So how much of what's going on right now with Aiyuk actually has to do with the fact that maybe Jimmy Garoppolo and him aren't exactly comfortable? And that's something that should be discussed because I haven't really seen anybody talk about that. Everything's all, it's the injury or it's Kyle's doghouse. Well, maybe it's one or two of those things. And it might be the third thing is they're just not lock and step because it started off hot in training camp, and it felt like Aiyuk just wasn't, as involved as he normally was, as Trent Sherfield's making play after play, and Deebo Samuel was the best receiver in camp. You know that. And we just attributed it to, hey, man, Jason Verrett's clamping him up, and that's pretty much it. But how much of that has to do with, them not being on the same page fully?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And I think it's, again, them calling routes for Aiyuk that Jimmy can't throw. But I do feel like when they do call the dig for Aiyuk and he's open and Jimmy misses him. Jimmy, if you're blaming Aiyuk for that, fine. Like, the solution isn't to freeze out Aiyuk. The solution is to work more with Aiyuk. Get out there early. Stay late. I mean, that's what Peyton Manning would do if he was having an issue with Marvin Harrison. That's what Steve Young would do if he had an issue with T.O. or Steve Young. Like, that's your guy. Don't go to someone else. Make it work. And that's what I always liked about Nick Mullins is like, he'd get in the game. He's like, Aiyuk's good. I'm going to give him 15 targets. I don't care. I'm going to him. And, Nick would throw a bunch of picks, but I mean, this whole thing of like, I don't like the way you're running routes today. I'm going to go to someone else. Like, nah, man, come on. Figure this out.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Are we still talking about Trey Lance if he misses that touchdown pass? Yeah. 3 first-round picks. The one in Detroit. Are we still
in Detroit? Oh.
Yeah, I think we're still going to talk about him for a while. Unless they trade him for Aaron Rodgers, which they could. Maybe they'll do it before the game. They'll just switch jerseys. Thank you, sir. Jeremy says, how many good performances or what does Jimmy need to do before he gets more positive specs coverage? We've all given him positive coverage. What do you want, man? He's playing good this season. What do you want? A contract extension, Jeremy? We want him to a Pro Bowl berth now? He's played well.
Yeah.
He's 2-0.
Yeah, he has 2-0. And he hasn't he has the one turnover on
like he's throwing 95-mile-an-hour fastballs out here. He's Barry Zito. Come on.
No. So Barry Zito. So aside from that one fumble too, he hasn't really been turning the ball over as well. So I mean, again, we talked about it. There's a baseline for this team. And it's like, if you're not turning the ball over this team because of how deep the roster is and how good the defense is, that they'll be in games with coaching all the time. So I think that what's going to happen in here is in this game, they're going to need a little bit more from Jimmy Garoppolo. They're not going to win this game scoring as many points as they did against the Eagles. The 49ers can give up 24, 27 points and still have played a great game on defense. That's totally possible. Totally possible.
What I think is funny about this whole thing is there's speculation that Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones the whole time. Strong speculation. Yeah. So far, through 2 games, Mac Jones and Jimmy Garoppolo have been the exact same quarterback.
Spider-Man.
Same quarterback.
Spider-Man pointing meme. Yep.
So Kyle, you got him. His name is Jimmy Garoppolo now. I know maybe you don't like Jimmy's face. It's a nice, I don't understand, but if you wanted Mac Jones, be happy. You got him. That's what you got. They're the same exact person. Except one doesn't yell 100 mil, although maybe he does, and we just don't know. 100 mil. Mark says, Jimmy is only 29 years old. Why draft Trey if you still feel he's the man? That's why Trey is the future. Doesn't make sense. Kyle and Lynch equal idiots. Yeah, they lost me. I was trying to follow the Niners plan, and then I need to get directions.
What if there was no plan?
What if there was no plan?
What if there was no plan and they're all just winging this as day by day goes? Like I don't know, and that's what I said. Like, we're going to discuss this for a long time because there is going to be somebody who finally writes a book about this entire offseason, where it's like Adam Peters or something.
The book's going to be called There Was No Plan.
There was never a plan.
There was never a plan.